Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahesh. Our next speaker is Oscar Molenaar, Business Development Manager for Gans Cargo Operations. Oscar has been in dry bulk shipping for 20 years with 2 different shipping and forwarding companies, mostly related to coal and petroleum coke. He also worked in the biomass industry for 10 years, and as an entrepreneur, he has had his own trading company based in London. Please help me welcome Oscar Molenaar.
Thank you very much, Lauren, for the introduction. It seemed to me a bit shorter than the other one, so what have I done to you? Okay, and thank you, audience, for bearing with me. It's highly appreciated, I can tell you, because it seems to be that the restaurants in Houston are really good. Absolutely. Okay, again, my name is Oscar Molenaar. I'm representing Gans Cargo Operations Netherlands. We are a member of the Hudegen Vede Group. It's really a huge family, traditional-owned shipping and forwarding company. So within the topic of doing business in the MENA countries, I would like to take you on a journey before getting to my main topic, or I would say main question. That's how I want to structure it. How does it work? How to organize the logistics in the MENA countries. And other than going too much into details and flooding you with all kind of numbers and things like that, I would like to focus myself on 2 steps, or let's say 2 questions to get to the point. First question, what is the impact of the turmoil hitting the global energy market, as we all witness that today, unfortunately? And the second one is, why does the focus of the market change from Europe, to the MENA countries? Let us start the journey, let's say, from a global perspective. I think that makes sense. So what is the impact of the turmoil hitting the global energy market? As we all know and encounter every day, the prices of electricity are really, really, really down. And the power utilities are struggling a lot to survive. I'll get back to that in a little while. On the other hand, the producers of coal, petcoke, oil, gas are struggling as well. So it's really a struggle to survive. I can see that for now. Right, and the impact of that, the economic impact, is massive. If you read the articles and like reliable sources as the Financial Times, utilities can only survive by governmental subsidies, right? They have to get rid of their assets, they have to split their activities as such. So it's quite a battle, it is. If you look at the other end, at the production side, if you read the numbers, I shouldn't tell you about the petcoke producers as such, or the traders, they're struggling as well. If I can make a little sidestep to the coal producers, if you read the numbers, the turnover in comparison with last year is down by 50% plus. It's unbelievable. One of the big groups had a lay of 53,000 people. So again, there's quite something going on. The other thing is like the discussion on renewables. That's the last tinge of my career. If you hear a statement of the G7 saying that, okay, guys, by 2040 or something like that, we only have to do renewables and get rid of the fossil fuels, I would say get real from that perspective. So you can't let's say drive an economy purely on wind, solar, and hydro, tidal, and above all biomass. And why I'm saying biomass, because that's what I did in the last 10 years. So the way I look at it, I can't see that this little thing, that pressed wooden thing, is taking over a part of the fossil fuel market, and you can't see it in the back, not even in the front, more likely. So I brought you a picture of the product I'm referring to. So, is, for argument's sake, renewable energy a threat? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It is an added value from an environmental perspective, as well as from an economical perspective. It creates jobs as such, but replacing it, no, forget about it. So the other thing is, the reason why I'm saying is that we all know that the world population is growing. I mean, today we got 7 billion plus people. In 2050, it will be 9 billion people. We have a 24/7 economy, right? And the energy demand is rising, for sure. The big question is, where are the fast emerging economies? Where are those countries? Is it still Europe? Probably for now, it isn't. But I reckon that that will return. So here we go, the European countries, right? And that brings me to, let's say, my second question as such. Why did the focus of the market change from Europe to the MENA countries? Or my views on that one, and I'm really to learn about yours, that it seems to be that right now the European market is kind of saturated. There's not much going on. As described earlier, we are in kind of distress right now. The other thing is that if you look at the MENA countries, if you divide it, let's say in the Middle East, there's quite something going on in the aluminium smelter industry. I mean, having said that, they using more and more their own energy because it's even cheaper than right now here. So you see a kind of a shift. What it said as well, what I found out as well, it's not a really growing market today. It will take a couple of years, but it will grow. So they're kind of self-supporting, what I understand. The other thing is that what you see happening as well, that coal utilities are being built as well. For example, in Dubai, under planning between 2020 and 2025, they want to build 3 power utilities, 1,200 megawatt each, which let's say is an equivalent of 2.5–3 million tons of coal. Reason why? We don't want to be dependent on coal. You got me here. But I understand. Some other minor details is like Morocco. Just to give you an example about Africa, I mean, last year they did 1.4 million tons of fossil fuel. Now, until July, it's 2.4 already and growing. Djibouti, to give you another port, which is an emerging port country as such. I mean, last year, 50,000 tons. Today, until July, the first half year, 200,000 tons. So, and then, as Walid did already, I mean, the cement industry is growing as well. I mean, Egypt is 60 million tons. Turkey, we had Ashkin this morning talking about 100 million ton. So, again, it's a growing market as such. Then here we have the MENA countries, right? And that brings me at the end of the day, bearing in mind that, you know, these countries, these ports, where the growth is, we have to deal with the fact that they can handle handy-sized vessel. You know, they have a fairly decent discharge rate, shore cranes, or self-discharges, congestion. We have to deal with a couple of issues. So that brings me to the main question. How to organize the logistics in the MENA countries? Well, you know, we all know the drill. We are 100 years in the business, 100 years, so we know the drill. You know, we load the vessel FOB, we end up in CIF in the discharge port, we put it on stock, right? And then from there, we manage the storage. You know, we do the quality and the quantity, and on the basis of DDU or DAP, they call it today, I believe, we deliver it just in time to the customer. That's fairly easy. Been there, done that, all of us. Yet, if you project that, let's say, on the MENA countries, we have a couple of issues to overcome. There are different local circumstances, as we all know, right? We have to deal with the currency issue, which is a hot issue. And we have to deal with the legislation. I mean, talk to Walid. I mean, the legislation is changing by the day. I mean, when you wake up, there is a different law. But the market is there to stay. And we will get there rather sooner than later. That's my perception, being a positive guy. Yet, I think there is one important condition we need. You need a local and then reliable partner. Otherwise, yeah, it's a bit a dive in the dark, or how do you call that? So, I mean, the last whatever, 10 minutes. You know, I took you on a journey that leaves you probably with a lot of questions about the global energy market as such. You know, the shift from Europe to the MENA countries, you know, and the necessity of a local partner. And what happens to be, but we, Gans Cargo Operations, we anticipated on the market change, and that basically led to us setting up a 50-50 joint venture with a very reliable and long-existing shipping and forwarding company in Egypt, with their own offices in all the relevant ports, so that enables us to do the service from CIF to delivered at the plant or the utility. So from that perspective, we are willing and able to assist you all the way if and where needed. What we also have done, we are in conclusive conversations with a huge shipping and forwarding group, head office in Dubai, access to 40 offices in the MENA countries, being the Middle East, Africa, not even North Africa, but in Africa, and also in India. Plus, we also have a joint venture in Turkey. And Turkey, as again Askin told us this morning, now is a fast emerging economy with a lot of potential, and we want to be there. We need to be there. We need to diversify as the market wants us to do. So we, and we, I mean Hans Lagernaik, my colleague, and myself, will be at the conference, and I'll talk to him, Hans, can you make yourself known, the face behind the name as such. So if you have any questions whatsoever, by all means, we're running around back and forth, so we can talk to you at all times. Now, if it doesn't work out for you, I'll show you my contact details later on, right? And then send us an email, give a shout, and we get you a detailed presentation as we did today, followed probably by a phone call or even a visit. We're willing and able to do that because we're here to serve you. Then give me 1 minute to introduce the group a little bit more than I've done until now, because that's what I'm getting paid for. The Hudik and Vida group, we are the fossil department, but we also have a mineral bulk department. We have a reefer logistics department, a container department, a project department, project break bulk department, as well as that we own in the Rotterdam area 45,000 square meters of covered storage, 3,500 square meters of open storage, all for you, waiting for your coal and petcoke, and